What's going on, guys? We are back once again, and we are going to be talking about Power, Book 4, Force, Season 2, Episode 3. So there was a lot going on in this episode, so I really don't know where to start, so I'm going to try to break it up in sections so that way it's a little easier. So the first thing I'm going to start with is, let's start with the Flynns. So a lot of things was going on with the Flynns. We started off with Walter and Vic trying to work together because Claudia decided to change the passwords for all their money accounts, which leads to them stealing from Claudia for all the money, so that way they could have extra, and that pisses off Claudia to where even they have to deal with Tommy, because Tommy ends up going to Walter trying to figure out who shot Liliana. He would not let it slide. Then we see later on in the episode where even Tommy goes to Claudia and he pretty much confronts her, stating the fact of that he knows it was her, and she's still not wanting to let go, saying, oh, maybe it was friendly fire, maybe it was someone else, even though Tommy knows deep down it was her. Now, what we also see is Vic is obviously playing Walter, so this was what really crazy is we see where Vic actually betrays his dad even more due to him ratting out one of the guys that they were doing business with while one of his dealers got caught in the streets. And what we see is he actually tells him, hey, this is what's going on. And then once that happens, we see where the reason why he did this is because of the one that they were doing business with makes a racial remark. And this is why Vic does this, because he not only wants to bury his father's business, but at the same time he wants to get revenge on what happened to Gloria. Now, by the way this ends up is he kills the one that they're doing business with. He has to clean it up, and Walter gets pissed about it. Then at the same time, we have some things going on between CBI and Treason. So Treason right now is having a lot of issues. Jannar cannot hold his soldiers in line, and once he finds out about what happened to Tommy, because Tommy goes to Diamond telling him what happened, and he tells him, well, I'm going to talk to Jannard. He says, no, I will. So Tommy goes to talk to Jannard, and it does not go the way Jannard plans. So he basically tells him, either you handle it or I will. And then he says, and if you don't, then I'm going to come for you next. And so what happens is Jannard tries to go after the one that shot at Tommy, and he's staying at his grandmother's. And then he basically puts a threat on him, and his grandmother sees it. And basically, your normal one goes try to hide, and she even tells him, she says, if you shoot my grandson, you won't be hard for a lineup. So he doesn't do anything, and Tommy has a tail on him, and he sees him. And then even later on, Jannard just keeps going further and further and further down the rabbit hole. So what we were basically seeing is Jannard lose more and more and more power. His soldiers are not listening. He even goes to the one he's sleeping with. She's even saying to where he could have found him, which is where he found him, as well as also he gets his car taken from the Serbs, which makes it even more hesitant to where the one that was going to initially Jannard was going to kill picks him up, and he kills him, if I got that correct. So what we see is Jannard basically now becoming an addict to his own product. So now we're going to have another issue with him because he owes so much money to the Serbs, and now he's getting high off his own product. Now we also see something within Tommy's family to where Kate is trying to make amends with Tommy, and even his brother does not go well, because she even says later on in AA that she was a crappy mother. She left, Tommy's brother when he was a baby because he was black, and due to the times and how she was very scared during that time, and even her being very not being there for Tommy, and how what she did to Tommy. So it was really hard to deal with that. And we also see where Tommy's still trying to deal with that as well. And then later on through the episode, she's even trying to make a cake for D-Mac, and you see how she's trying to change but slowly changing. And we even see where she even comes through for Tommy, actually giving him ice cream, which is the type of ice cream he wanted when he was a kid, but he did not get it due to her getting high on the way there. Now, what's actually very interesting is of how they're trying to still do business, because Diamond comes up with an idea with the one he's sleeping with, who is a TO in the prison, how he's moving drugs within the prison by her. But the problem is the one he put in the wheelchair is actually the second product user that is getting drugs from the Serbs, and he has to make an alliance with him and use his own advantage to be able to do that, which he later does in the episode, which was very smart thinking, to be able to plant drugs on him and actually say, okay, if you're gonna, you want to do this, okay, but at the same time, you're gonna go down, you're gonna lose another year or two, and being in a wheelchair is gonna be the least of your concerns. Now, here's another thing. Diamond may be getting a prodigy because we have this young kid that's preaching on the side, and he actually goes to Diamond after getting a free haircut on Sunday after his PO officer made a comment about that. Because, again, let's all be honest, Diamond's PO officer is a real dick. He's real by the book. He's going to cause a lot of problems for Diamond. He almost caught Diamond in some type of drug exchange due to one of his ones that worked for him was coming up, and one of his workers that works with him in his barbershop actually covered for him, and hopefully that his PO officer actually bought it. Now, this is going to cause a massive issue with Diamond as well, because it looks like his PO officer is going to be more and more on his ass. Maybe not as much, but enough to where it's going to be a problem. Now, I will say that it may be more of an issue due to the fact of we don't know exactly if or will he find out, or if Tom's going to take care of it, or if Diamond's going to handle it at some point if he does find out. So that's going to be something interesting that does come later on. Tommy keeps trying with Miguel's sister, and looks like at the very end of the episode, she actually allows him to take her up on the offer of hey, let me go ahead and take you out, let me go ahead and show you how to drive, things of that nature. But what also comes at a price is when we see Tommy and Diamond get witness to what happens when one's betraying Miguel, because what Miguel does is that he puts the two subordinates that he has, and he puts them in I know the word, it's not coming to mind right now, but he basically freezes both their arms and breaks it off, and it looks at Diamond, he looks at Tommy, and Tommy even asks, he says, with all due respect, what are we doing here? And he says, this is what happens to ones that betray me. Now, we'll say what's kind of interesting about this is, one, how even they go back later on trying to get more product from Miguel, he even states, okay, so you got this much, and now you got this much, how are you moving this much product? Now, thanks to the president, thanks to Southside, as well as also what D-Mac told Tommy, that's how they're moving so much weight. And now also at the same time, we do see where D-Mac and his father finally make so-called amends, but at the same time, Tommy's being panicky on him being shot at, to where he goes and gives his brother a gun, and even D-Mac's like, okay, hey, where's mine at? And they say, no, you're not going to get it. But by the end of the episode, again, with him not listening, he goes into another, to where his dad's hiding the gun, and takes it anyway. So again, someone may try to break into the house at some point, and who's going to be the one to shoot it? It's either going to be D-Mac or it's going to be his dad. We don't know as of yet. But again, this episode really tied into a lot of things of what everyone was already predicting, I would say, within the community. Again, Gerard's going down one hell of a ride because he's not listening to nobody. He's a loose cannon, and he's either going to be taken down by his own means, or at the same time, someone's going to put him down, which could be Tommy, could be the Serbs, or it could be his own brother. Again, we don't know. But at the same time, also, we're going to be seeing the relationship between Miguel's sister as well as Tommy grow, who knows as well, and also is Miguel going to find out that Tommy as well as Diamond are the ones that are basically betraying him without him even knowing. So again, there was a lot of stuff that happened in this episode. I enjoyed it. It kept me on my toes, kind of made me wonder, okay, what's going to happen this time, what's going to happen next time. But I really did enjoy this episode. Can't wait for next week's. Can't wait to see how much more of this growth is going to happen within the next few weeks of Power as well. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, honestly, subscribing, leave a big like on the video if you guys enjoyed. What did you guys think of the episode overall? Did you guys enjoy it? Was it good? Was it bad? What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to die? What do you think about what's going on with the characters right now? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you as always on the next one.